Yes. We got using his command in Afghanistan. Blank announced he would be ready.
I'll fix it up.
Right, boat builder on a boat. The attention of British press because of his success in blanking.
And sailing his ship?
No, in teaching mice to surf.
Well, fix it up.
Having 3 chest x-rays belonging to blank sold for $45,000 in a Las Vegas auction.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh. Michael Jackson?
No, Marilyn Monroe. Spirit Airlines came under fire for an ad campaign for beach destination like Cancun in Puerto Rico, showing well-oiled babes in bikinis and a tagline that read blank.
Oh, much better. Much better.
Spirit Airlines advertising team was last an angry flock of pelicans.
Now,
Carl, how did Julius Rubin do in our quiz?
broken detent roller. And here's one I salvaged out of a scrap Chevy T-Rough.
All right, with 10 points. Take it away, Paula.
Straightened it out and welded it.
Paula, how many then does
Right
Paula
there.
need to win?
3 to tie, 4 to win outright.
Whoa.
You can do it.
You can do this, Paul. Here we go. This is for the game. Fill in the blank. On Tuesday, Blank made a payment of $69 million to the government to clean up the Gulf.
BP.
Right. After 34 years on the bench, on Monday, Justice Blank officially retired.
Stevens.
Right, John Paul Stevens. According to wiretapped conversations, Rod Blagojevich considered filling Obama's Senate seat with talk show host Blank.
I gotta grind that down a little bit.
The Blank program until next
Pop it in.
Right, the new
I've
mayor of
been
Mexico
waxing the
City
truck. Had a friend of mine over. He just left.
who would not
Cleaning it up. Moved from the old vent shades. I had to get me some new ones.
after she announced she filed paper.
This side I compounded. The sun came around. So I waxed this side. Lots of little scratches. Lots of scratches. 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 Dent. Smash. Got the tailgate dismantled here so I can build up. The striker's worn. Tailgate rattles. I got a spare tailgate here, but it's a different year, I think. It's got a deeper groove over here. 4x4. They'll fix her up. That's just her close. Perfect. Lovely. Oops. Oh, need a tiny adjustment.
Where he suffered an unfortunate
Alright.
problem with his trousers.
Mess up with the truck. Somebody asked me about this Leal tool, L-I-S-L-E, Leal tool. $10, Amazon or eBay. So I got my spring compressed. I got my roller in. Just stick this little baby. Somehow. Crank it down a bit more, I suppose. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, is it the lack of an iPad that prevents
Undo the...
using this thing? Because it's probably not. Like, the way that people are convinced and the way that you make an impact and create art or create
Make sure
effect
it's lined up
more
correctly.
to do with what's in your mind
And you
and
undo
what's in
the
your heart and how
special
you
bolt
develop those
nut.
ideas than it is with the tools that you use to put them on the web or put them into the
Sleeve
world.
nut.
But it's much harder for companies to sell products
$10.
that can claim to help
I used to use host lamps and tire wraps, and what a waste of time. $10 junk stamped steel tool. Yeah.
That really don't change much in
I'm
terms
just
of
going to take my MIG welder and put a little spot weld
at
at the top of the roller so that it stays in place, doesn't
But I'm not convinced
fall
that
out.
a dream is really dependent anymore for most people on the tools that they have. Scott, thanks so much for talking to us.
Ding! There it is. My buddy Eric used to say that. Ding!
Creativity, innovation, and technology. You can find a link to that blog post.
I wonder how big Pa's oil pressure is.
/spark.
Check his videos.
Many of us have done it. Gone to
Dollar store, 99 cents. It froze though.
emails that weren't what you call professional. And maybe you've had that uncomfortable feeling of, gee, if my bosses only knew what I was writing
I think
or
I
looking
ruined it.
at. Well,
Unlimited.
we can and increasingly
Oh,
do.
it changes
We look inside the
setting
growing
for the
world of workplace
light
monitoring,
monitor
and
fast.
why it may be bad for business.
Tons of junk. Hey, I got this mirror. It's a convex mirror. I wanted to put it in place of this one, but can't change it. You got to bust the glass to get inside. Oh well. We'll fix her up.
The spiritual leader of Tibet for decades, the Dalai Lama, is
Fixed.
As the Chinese consolidate their power, Tibetan dissidents must find alternatives.
It's grease. Lube gel. The best stuff. I'm going to sneeze. Oh yeah. What else I got underneath the seat? Gloves. More black gloves. More.
I would want to think that they, want to make sure that what they're paying you to do gets done.
One black glove.
When it is and how it is.
One glue glove.
I know lots of people that are getting paid to
All
work
greased
all
up.
day.
How's it work now?
I was one of them years ago.
Beautiful.
Paid to work in
Right.
cafe and simply don't have enough work to fill up their time. I
Beautiful.
want to hope that employers.
Beautiful thing.
Plus, it's important to remember that if Jen really loves to around her filter, she can
Keep on working. Filters at work. No Facebook.
That becomes the performance standard. So, for example, if it's, you can only spend 3 minutes with a customer, well, that's the behavior that's rewarded. That becomes the for customer satisfaction, which is ridiculous. People will do things like pick up a call and hang up immediately, or transfer a call to someone else in the organization. So there's increasing their call response, or actually lowering their call response times to improve their performance measures, but you're certainly not customer satisfaction that way.
So you mean 2 minutes and 58 seconds, I better transfer this call to somebody else?
There.
And hang up. And, it's a
Yeah, fall out now.
Yeah.
So, all Americans are lacking. So.
Well, I got a bracket in my hand. I'll tell you what that's about in a second. Greasing your ball joints. I don't know what it is with GM, but got this little cover around the radiator hose. Got that repositioned. I put a 90-degree fitting on the original Saginaw idler arm, so now I can reach it from there. I couldn't before because there's a skid plate no access to the grease fitting. So with that 90-degree fitting that I just put on, you can get to it now. Stick the grease hose up behind the crossover, and then on the ball joint to give you a straight fitting. Useless. So I put a 45 there, right there, and doesn't hold the grease, that blue. It's a GM Delco ball joint. Everything else is greased up. Got my stainless steel brake hoses. Lots of good grease. Harmonic balancer. Big thick piece of rubber there. Make sure that's not worn because it'll cause your crankshaft to break if it wobbles. And that was what the problem was when I bought that Suburban last year in Arizona. Tow bars. Tow bar hooks. Tow bar hooks. What else? Tighten a few bolts on the cross member for the transmission. I'll change the throttle position sensor. I had the code red yesterday. It's pre-OBD2, OBD1. I got lots of grease fittings here. Lots of good grease fittings. And, yeah, the bracket. What's the bracket for? I'll show you. Fitting. Bracket. Uh-oh. This is the long way around. Long way. Tailgate. It's not closing properly all the way. So, the bracket is slotted. But I'm going to grind off a bit of this and make the slots a little bit longer. Tighten my tailgate. Because when you close it, this side obviously has no bracket, but this side loose. And the rubber is in place. So well, fix her up. Got my bed all cleaned out, got my low restriction muffler. I'll put that on next time I use this T-Rock. Got all my junk taken out. Clean her up. Frozen water.
So literally just
Well,
catching
fix her up.
money. made them
turbo
feel
diesel.
better.